Welcome, Army fans. This is Joe Iacono with GoBlackKnights.com, along with Army safety Casey Larkin. Casey looks a little colder up at West Point than it is down here in Georgia. What was the weather like out there at practice today?
Definitely. I mean, it's like football weather right now. We got out there, it was around like 60, which is honestly my favorite football weather. But yeah, definitely a little colder coming out of spring break, going to tropical places and stuff. So it's way different.
Right. Where'd you go for spring break?
Bahamas with my girlfriend.
Nice.
That was a good time.
Good. That's great. So coming back into practice now, was today trying to think, was today your first practice back or yesterday following
Oh,
spring
today.
break?
Today.
Okay. All right. So how did things go? Were guys a little rusty or did you guys get right back into it from where you left off?
I think the energy was great, but definitely a lot of things to clean up. It's early in spring. I mean, I know we got a lot of practices left, so we're just building out the kinks. But I think everybody was happy to be back, flying around. But there's definitely a lot of mistakes that we need to clean up.
And anything in particular on the secondary that you saw that you guys need to work on, you think?
Definitely just getting our eyes right. It's definitely playing our offense. Coach Worley's doing a bunch of great plays that's going to get us prepared for academy games, and it's just overall just getting our eyes right, looking at our right keys, and doing our job. That's like the biggest thing.
And of course, last year you had senior captain Max DiDomenico back there with you on the back end. And I know, Colin Madison, who I think I'm going to talk to later tonight, and Gavin Shields stepped in a couple times last year for both you and Max. So they're certainly not without experience. But what has the transition been like for you without having Max back there with you? And how are Colin and Gavin coming along?
They're doing great. Like you said, they have experience. It's there's no drop off at all. It was the same last year, so they're doing great. Great communication. We're all really good friends in that room, and I think we have really good chemistry. So it's pretty easy to mesh well together. And Max also, he's AI and helping out, so it's like he's in the room, but he's not playing. So it's just an overall. It's like we still have the room back together. But yeah, Colin and Gavin can't say enough about them. They're killing it.
That's great. And I interviewed Coach Woody a couple of weeks ago, and he and I both thought you're one of the best, if not the best, safeties in the conference. And I know Coach Woody's got high standards, so for him to give you praise like that, that's got to be something special. What do you think you can do this year? I mean, the second half of last year, Casey, I was at almost every game, and you were just all over the field. I mean, you were playing well before that, but the improvement I saw the second half of the season was just incredible. Kind of two-part question. First, what do you attribute your improvement to the second half of the season? And then what do you think you can get even better at this year?
Um, Basically just the more experience, like as games go on, I know your body deteriorates, but your mind gets calluses and then you remember things that you saw weeks prior. I think that's probably like the biggest thing that I just needed that multi plays back to back to back, get 60 plays a game, seeing everything. And a lot of the American teams, they run similar stuff. So it's you get to see things week in and week out. Just definitely seeing that was my ability to play faster. And what I could do better this year is basically slowing the game down in certain situations, getting my eyes right. I think that's the biggest thing, and just knowing keys and learning what the offense is trying to do, rather than now that I've been in the system for 4 years. Now it's like knowing the defense is like the back of my hand. Now it's learning what the offense is trying to do, looking at their splits and watching film and actually picking up on stuff almost perfectly.
And kind of to follow up on that, you guys played great in almost every game last year, except the one that really a lot of people probably consider the most important. And speaking of keeping your eyes right and eye discipline and just, not getting faked out by motion and stuff, Navy ran a lot of counter, a lot of motion, a lot of misdirection stuff that seemed that, not you personally, I wasn't watching you personally, but it did seem to catch the defense off balance a little bit. And I know you said Coach Worley's throwing a bunch of stuff at you guys. I know that game's way off in the distance, and really you want to get through spring and take everything, one play at a time, one day at a time. Understand that, but how much is that kind of in the back of y'all's minds, especially with you being a rising firstie, to try and make sure that you guys are more prepared and execute better in the last game of the season.
Definitely. Yeah, they came out, had a great game plan against us. Respect to them, but yeah, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. And we're just gonna do it like you said. It's in the past. We're focused on 2025, and our biggest thing is just focusing on ourselves, and kind of figuring out what we need to do to win academy games because those are, like you said, the most important.
Stuff. And as you're back there on the defense watching, so in addition to the new safeties, you've got a lot of returning veterans at corner with Donovan Platt and Jaden Mays and Justin Weaver to help you back there in the secondary. The linebackers, I know Andon Thomas has been out and some other folks have been out, but a lot of depth returning at linebacker. But some of the other new faces. Guys like Cole Seawright, we've been hearing a little bit about Matt Gemma potentially, some of the other defensive linemen. How are the new guys picking everything up on defense in general?
They're doing well. And it's tough coming from scout team. I did it my freshman year, and it's like you're drinking water out of a fire hose, like how everybody says it. But it's a lot of information. But I think they're doing well. They're flying around. It's mostly just getting those kinks out and like learning the defense because some calls they're like, oh, is it this call? Is it this call? They're kind of choosing and thinking. Once that's out of there, they're gonna be flying around. They're doing well, but they are picking it up really fast. So I'm really impressed.
Awesome stuff. Well, Casey, thanks for taking some time with us tonight. Best of success to you through the rest of the spring ball and on into the spring game. Go Army, beat Navy.